This is from her podcast, right? That she has with her brother. And they were, she had a guest. Oh my God. Eric Holder's wife, who is an obstetrician. Is it Sheila Malone or something like that? And so she's talking to her about women reproductive health.
Many men have no idea about what women go through, right? We haven't been researched, we haven't been considered, and it affects the way a lot of male lawmakers, a lot of male politicians, a lot of male religious leaders think about the issue of choice as if it's just about the fetus, the baby, but women's reproductive health is about our life. It's about this whole complicated reproductive system that does the least of what it does is produce life. It's a very important thing that it does, but you only produce life if the machine that's producing it, if you want to, whittle us down to a machine, if the machine is functioning in a healthy, streamlined kind of way. Mm-hmm. But there's no discussion or any men.
I'm gonna defend Michelle Obama here, because I understand what she's saying, that it's not just about getting pregnant and having a baby. It is about the whole reproductive system in a woman that's not being researched, that's not being studied. So, so that we can function, of course, giving birth, but in other, in other areas as well, have proper periods, or when I guess, fibroids and stuff like this. It's a whole bunch of things. And because I actually went to the podcast and read it listened to it kind of all the way through. So which is true when we talk about the healthcare industry. Women are least likely studied. Maybe when it comes to in vitro, and that's very expensive, but women are least likely research and study when it comes to our health or reproductive health. But what do you think with that? Oh, unmute.
I think that women are intentionally not studied for the simple fact that women are intentionally poisoned to cause these different, health outcomes. Number one, birth control. Birth control is the death of women, whether women want to look at it or not, and they think that it's the best thing for them. Birth control is death. When you every day defy the very anatomy that you were put on this earth to be, and you crush it every day, trust and believe you're going to have some side effects. So these birth control companies don't want these, studies, because it's going to turn out that the bottom borderlining cause of all of these women problems is birth control. So for me, I've known that I've never taken birth control in my life. And then I have, family who started birth control, and when they had the patches, how it made them gain weight, how it threw off their thyroids, and eventually you're going to have the fibroids, you're going to get the breast cancer, you're going to get the, uterine cancer, because you made the decision to disrupt your God-given body every day for 30 years. That's your fault. Now, the business part of that is these people and the hospitals and the gynecologists and the obstetricians, they benefit off of these illnesses of women that have these outcomes. So no, we're not going to get it until women make a decision to stop destroying themselves and allowing these things to enter their body because they want to go out and be free. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion on it. And in my opinion, that's the bottom of the situation. Like, I'm not going to give women excuses. Oh, there's not, studies on this. You know what there's studies of? You putting that in your body every day and killing the whole being that you were put on this earth to be. So that's how I see it.
That is a great point, because if you're going to talk about women's reproduction outside of giving birth, right? And it's like, okay, there are women who want to hold off on being a mother. So, but they're still sexually active. Talk about the pros and cons of birth control. And women like her, the liberals or the Democrats or whatever, she's not doing that. She's just really one-sided. Yes, there needs to be more research. Yes, there need to be more studies with certain things when it comes to women reproduction systems. But you got to understand there is a con to a lot of this stuff. There's cons to abortion, there's cons to birth control, but they're not talking about that. So, but she is getting backlash. But I will say this, her brother having that podcast, that's strategic for the Democrats. That was done on purpose, because really, why we want to hear you weekly for what? So I think this whole podcast is gearing up or setting up for the midterms for the Democrats.
Well, this is the thing you were talking about earlier about not supporting things that you don't agree with, but all of y'all watching Michelle Obama, y'all are feeding her what they need in order to try and make a dent during the midterms. See, this is an easy fix. Everybody just stop watching Michelle Obama. So, and then all of whatever power or strategy or whatever the agenda was goes away. And it doesn't even cost you anything. Like, these are the easy fixes, And so when we talk about it, those are the things. And I'm like, okay, I don't even watch Michelle Obama until you guys post her. You know what I'm saying? I could care less about Michelle Obama and the power that she doesn't have anymore. Y'all keep giving it back to her. So that's why I'm like, y'all can fix it, but y'all the culprits in the Michelle Obama strategy. And I'm like, don't be the culprit. It's free.
Well, me personally, I don't listen to her podcast, but it's like, okay, I do see her, whether she's trending on X because of something she said, or it could be the New York Post or whatever, legacy media talking about it, or they talk about her podcast is not doing well in the ratings or whatever, which it is kind of not for what they're expected. But right. You're right. When you feed into it, you're going to give attention to it, whether it's good or bad. But see, that's this whole, I call it the hamster wheel with social media, the internet, and content creators, big or small. We're feeding into all this. We're feeding into Palantir,
Palantir,
because I'm thinking of Planet, but Palantir. We're feeding into Palantir. We're feeding into giving our data away.
I mean, you know what? I want to say.
Did you get the real ID?
No, I have a passport.
Right.
No, I'm not doing that. I mean, for what? I mean, it's just more ways for the state to make money off of the civilians. That's really what it is. That ID is not more secure than anything else that's out there. So, but I wanted to say one thing. Now, I didn't know I was going to be on the show today. So I went and got my eyebrows tinted, and I know they're dark, and I don't want y'all making fun of me, but yeah, I got them tinted, and then she called me to be on the show. So I just want to put that out there for y'all, get in the comments and start talking crazy.
They were fresh. You gotta, if it's freshly done. So
yeah, and so I washed it out tonight. Like you okay.
I'm sorry, because you know what? I knew that
I take care of myself.
Oh no, yes she does. Yes, she does, honey. Because I knew the judge wasn't feeling well. So, but I'm
happy to be here. I just wanted to put that out there because I know people. Yeah. So let me just check y'all.
And even if they did say something, you wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care, but I'm just trying to be preventative maintenance of this piece.
Well, listen, thank you so much, Ravion, for coming on. Love you to pieces. And listen, you do say it how it is. You make it plain, and you're very outspoken. But one thing I do know, that you do reiterate is for people to go get that bag. Go
for sure. You got to get your money up. Trust me. When a catastrophe happens and you have no money, it's going to be survival of the fittest, and you might not make it. So the best thing, no matter what is happening in the world, get your money up, because with money, you don't have to do with certain stuff. You can pick up and go. But when you get emotional and money and all money is not good money, you lose. And that's the mentality they want you to have. Oh, I don't want that money. No, money is money. And all money is good money. For sure. For sure.
You said all money is good money. Even drug dealing money?
All money is good money because you know what? Jay-Z just turned into a billion-dollar company. All money is good money.
That's gonna stay in my damn head.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it to y'all for it to stay in your head so y'all can get your bag up.
So listen, people can follow you on X.
Yes, at Free Trevian on X.
And then you still do the show.
Hood Conservative Podcast every Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes, yes. Okay, cool. So go follow Trevion, and I'm gonna put her social media handle in the description. But I'm gonna put her social media handles. Go follow her on X. She's great, and I'm definitely gonna have you come back on. So
Thank you, Dana. I'm always happy to be here, even when I died out.
because you know I went to see Beyonce.
Yeah, in Chicago.
No, in New York.
In New York, okay.
I went to the last show at MetLife, and
Okay.
I said I wanted to go to Paris and see her, but I didn't plan properly for that because I got to get my passport or whatever. But anyway,
You don't have a passport?
I had it and I lost it, so I had to submit a form stating that I lost it. So now I got to get a new one, reapply to get another one. And I procrastinate a lot, so it's like I got to do it. I have to do it. But I flew. I don't have the real ID, but they let me go through. It was just like, yeah, and that's how they was looking at you, like, all right, because everybody, majority is just like, whatever. They're not going through that. But I wanted to ask you, any tea on Beyonce, like, because I'm a Beehive, honey. She's fabulous.
You know what? I really don't get. The only thing that I have a problem with Beyonce is them being a payola game for Cowboy Carter. Definitely not the best country album. Definitely not the best country songs. But Trump won, and now America is in. The flag is in. The Star Spangled Banner is cool. And so Beyonce jumped on that bandwagon, and now it's all things country. Beyonce is she's from Texas. That's about all she can say. Because all of the footage that we've seen of her growing up, not one cowboy hat nor any cowboy boots. Her mama was a hairdresser and was into designing clothes. Y'all wasn't out on the farm. So I thought she disrespected the country music industry. I thought that, Jay-Z putting $2 million behind, streams and, pay to play so that everywhere you turned around and looked, you would see Cowboy Carter. Now, the choreography and how they perform it at the shows, great. How they put on a show, great. But how she got to these awards, it was fake. It was payola. I know the music industry better than a lot of people. They paid for the streams. They paid for the promo. They paid for it all. And country music, we'll never forget. So just remember that.
Well, I loved it. I hear you, but I do appreciate how she gave homage to the Black country music artists because they have not. They kind of been done. They kind of been left in the dust with no type of recognition. But I hear you,
no.
and I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift is paid for play too.
Oh, Taylor Swift is the number one payola artist in the world. Let's just say that.
But
however, she's not messing with nobody. She's not trying to come.
She's staying in her lane of pop.
She's staying in her lane.
I see what you're saying.
She's staying in her lane. And,
but see, Act 2 was recorded before Trump ran again because all Act 1, 2, and 3 is already recorded. So that was already planned for her to do the cowboy. But I do believe you with the pay for play, especially when you talk about marketing, because was she going to be accepted as a country artist? No,
never.
But she should have got album of the year with Formation,
now Formation was different.
Or Renaissance. No. Yeah. And I was like, okay, they're finally giving it to her because she should have got it for Renaissance at least, but she should have got it for Formation.
And I'm not disputing that. that. But Cowboy Carter, it was a jump piece. I'm going to just keep it real. And they're into
the Beehive.
It was a jump piece of music, and you know it. Let's stop playing.
Hands to heaven. But see, I'm not a country music listener.
Not even classifying it in a genre. It was jump music. Where Beyonce wins is choreography, showmanship. She's actually an entertainer, outfits and wardrobe. And putting on a stellar show for y'all who travel miles to see somebody who put out a junk piece of music. But marketing and promo and perception is everything. And Beyonce is skilled at that. So I give her credit in those spaces. But when I'm going to call a junk piece of music, a junk piece of music, because I've been around the best in the game. I know good music. My father helped co-write old time rock and roll. My whole life is music. So, you know, my sister wrote for Beyonce and Lady Gaga. She's a co-writer on Telephone, and Telephone 2 is coming out. So I've been in this industry. I know Beyonce's game. I know how this works. And I'm just, you know, Beyonce didn't have it in her. She could have still done country wardrobe and show and blah, 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 but put out a better piece of music.
I hear you. But that last Kanye song that dropped, honey, that was a hot mess.
No, that song was, trust me and believe, you're going to hear it everywhere you go this summer. And y'all have to know that Kanye is that energy. He's that animal. He's going to say the things that you're not supposed to say just to break the confines of not being able to say it. The beat was super dope. You can't even lie. The beat was just killer. And then the video was dope. So, you know, sometimes
I'm not you know what? I'm not feeling, to me, I'm not feeling him right now. I'm just not.
You don't have to feel it, but I will tell you right now, this is what I'm going to say. And a lot of people may not like it. We haven't had a black leader since Malcolm X. And I'm going to tell you that Kanye West is the newest black leader that we could have, period.
Every young girl.
Yes. And this is the thing. If something was to happen to him, you would be the one to say, you know what?
No, absolutely not. No, girl.
I promise you, Kanye West is the first black leader we've had.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yes,
absolutely
not. Yes, he is. Y'all got to wake up to it. If you just open your
mind. No, I'm going to stay asleep on that one. No. I'm going to stay asleep on that one. I can't.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Listen, there's a lot of people that do echo your same sentiments. I'm not doing it. I never would do it with him. But he is a brilliant producer. I will say that. So a lot of artists, I think, still begging to have him produce some songs. So yeah.
There's nobody that's going to tell him no. It's just they all have to be quiet until the Heil Hitler things calm down. But it's just going to be the #1 song of the summer. Everywhere you go, you're going to hear it because they took it off of all streaming platforms. So when they did that, everybody had to watch it on social media. He had 900 views in 48 hours, beating Taylor Swift, beating everybody.
900 million.
When they saw that, they had to take it off of social media because it was giving him too much power. And that's the bigger thing right now. Kanye is the freest black man in America.
Well, he's an influencer, but
he's the freest black man.
He ain't no goddamn leader, honey.
He is the freest black man in America, teaching every black person in America how to be free. And y'all don't want to accept that.
No,
it's okay. But that's what Kanye West is teaching everybody. And matter of fact, he's bringing.
He's dancing around a naked snow bunny.
First of all, let me just tell y'all, that was Bianca's thing. That wasn't Kanye. As you see, when she's not with Kanye, she dresses like that. Because she's an architect, designer. So her lifestyle was to one day be able to walk around free and naked. And y'all keep blaming Kanye for that. No, that's Bianca.
You got to tell your white girl, put some clothes on today.
That's Bianca's freedom.
Just cover the titties up or something.
So,
but either way.
And then it's her, she's got to compete with, the ex. So it's like, look. Yeah,
I think they're in competition on who could be the nakedness. So, but anyway, listen, thank you, Trevion. I really appreciate you coming on. I'll talk to you. All right, thank you.
Dana with the data. Dana with the data.